What's up, bro? This video is mostly for me to talk about a realization I had yesterday. More specifically, something to do with mindset, as I'm now in what we would call a difficult phase of my life. Quick background, for the last year and a half, I've been going balls to the walls with my online business, which was based off of my social media personal brand that I built on Instagram and YouTube. Invested over 5 figures in mentorships to learn how to monetize my brand, how to build the skill set. And while fruitful, we could definitely say I'm in the negative with everything. I'm not, I didn't make more than 5 figures. That's not true. I made more than 5 figures. No, I did not make more than 5 figures, bro, in my 1 year and a half of doing this. So I had to call an end to it because it just isn't sustainable. And I decided to now pursue some other ventures, one of which is remote sales. And I had to buy a course for that as well, right? And it was really painful for me to basically go from entrepreneur working for myself to now accepting the fact that I'm going to be needing to work for somebody else. Because my whole philosophy about my personal brand is like, hey, I never want to work for anybody ever again. I only want to work for myself. Working for other people is you're a slave, right? And now here I am being told by my sales mentor to outreach offer owners to work on their offers, right? Which is like, wow, like that's really not what I want to do in my life. And so there was a lot of pain associated with that as well. Add on the fact that I really gave everything I had to my business, but it failed. And the reason why it failed, right? The reason why it failed is because your skill just wasn't good enough, right? Like my skill sets with entrepreneurship wasn't good enough. It's not that big of a deal, bro. It's really not that big of a deal that my skill set wasn't good enough. If you do something for the first time ever that is challenging, then of course it's going to be, of course there's a high likelihood that you're going to fail, right? So I'm not too bothered about the fact that I failed anymore. I think something that I realized yesterday when I was on the phone with my mom is like a small epiphany, which is there's a skill set that I'm lacking, right? It's not discipline, I'm a disciplined motherfucker. It's not drive, I'm a driven motherfucker. I'm very relentless, right? But it's my emotional management when things get tough. More specifically, I wrote out this sentence on the whiteboard here. Overcoming difficult life phases without being neurotic. Overcoming difficult life phases without being neurotic. That is the skill set that I'm missing. Because I can go through difficult life phases and just hammer through it. That's how I've been doing it my whole life. It's funny, that's also how my father educated me, which led to a really negative relationship with him, right? I don't speak with him anymore. And so there is a mindset management element that is missing, even though parts of my mindset, such as my drive and my discipline, are extremely, they're fucking S tier. I think I'm one of the most driven and disciplined motherfuckers out there, right? Especially when I believe in what it is that I'm doing. Perhaps that's the reason why the failure hurt so much. But now, me getting back into sales, me outreaching people, it's very humbling. It's very humbling to go from working on your own schedule, making your own salary, to now having to work for somebody else, being told what to do, not having the time freedom that I used to. Right? Very, very humbling. And I actually see this as an opportunity for me to overcome difficult life phases without being neurotic. This isn't, oh, I'm gonna get my sales skills up again. Oh, this is a period where I make my commission, even though it is, like, making my commission is very important. The whole point of this phase also is to restabilize financially, because I really fucked myself with how little income I've made from my business compared to how much I've spent on mentorships and, skill acquisition courses, etc., etc. So, and I don't regret it whatsoever, by the way. So, the idea here is we do something that's not as difficult, right? Because sales is, even though I'm working for somebody else, it's not as difficult as entrepreneurship. You're not risking as much here, right? Let me go through something more basic that I actually have experience in. And let me focus on not being neurotic while I'm in this phase. Because that's the skill set that I'm missing. The reason why I'm so driven and disciplined and I don't give up is because I put myself in this emotional, high-stakes situation in order to drive myself to do the thing. It didn't work. The reason my business failed is specifically because of that. So, that's what I'm going to be working on for the next couple months. It's managing that very specific part of my mindset. And I'm excited for the first time, because it's been tough, man. You think it's been really tough for me to go through this whole phase and to accept that the business has failed, even though I gave it absolutely everything that I had, right? But actually, I'm excited now that I look at it this way, because I get to fix what is arguably one of the most important parts in my mindset that's been lacking, and that even caused the failure to begin with. So good shit, bro. You identified the right thing. I already know your drive and your discipline in order to get things done, so I'm not even worried about that. The most important thing is you go through the process, you do the sales, you do the DM setting or the phone setting or whatever activity you told yourself that you're too good for, right? You do it anyway. And you just work your neuroticism. That's really all it is. Because I think if you take your character, your drive, your discipline, your fucking high test way of being, right? Now you pair that with the fact that you don't have these emotional swings and the stakes aren't that high. Because now with sales, the stakes aren't that high anymore, right? Then you're going to be a fucking killer in the next venture. And I won't say it on camera because, yes, this video is for me, but I'm probably going to put it on my YouTube publicly. The other venture you're working on right now. It's probably going to make you rich. Just going to take a couple months.